Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to discuss the difference between thermodynamics and heat transfer. So, the thermodynamics deal with the amount of energy transfer when a system undergoes a process from one equilibrium point to another equilibrium point, where the heat transfer deal with the determination of the rate of such energy transfer. In order to understand this concept or difference in a better way, I have taken an example of thermos bottle where we have a hot coffee inside the thermos and it is surrounded by an air, and between air and hot coffee there is an insulation as shown in the figure. So let us consider initially the coffee is at 60 degrees Celsius, that is time equal to 0, and after some time, that is t equal to t dash, maybe 6 hour or 7 hour, when you again wanted to have your coffee, you observe that your coffee temperature has been dropped to 50 degrees Celsius. So this means that there was a heat transfer from the hot coffee to the surrounding air as mentioned by Q. So in order to calculate this heat transfer, how much heat has been taken out from the hot coffee when its temperature dropped from 60 degrees Celsius to 50 degrees Celsius, from a thermodynamics point of view, we have a relation that is Q equal to mCp delta T, where m is the mass of the hot coffee, Cp is the specific heat of the hot coffee, and delta T is the temperature drop that we have observed in the hot coffee. So let us assume Cp as 3.7 and mass as 0.5. If we substitute this value in our equation, we got a number of 18.5 kilojoule. That is 18.5 kilojoule of energy has been transferred from the hot coffee to the air due to the temperature difference between the hot coffee and the air. But this analysis does not tell us anything about the time. That is, how much time it has been taken to lower hot coffee temperature from 60 degrees Celsius to 50 degrees Celsius. And this time is an important parameter for designing the thermos. So in order to study the time required, heat transfer is an important. Heat transfer has a wide engineering applications such as in power plants, air conditioning, electronic chip, refrigerator, plate heat exchangers, and engines. It also has a many wide application in other field also. Now we will discuss about the different mechanism of heat transfer such as conduction, convection, and radiations. Let us start with the conduction. So conduction is a transfer of energy from the more energetic particle of a substance to the adjacent less energetic one as a result of interaction between the particles. Conduction can take place in solid, liquid, and gases. In solid, it is due to the vibration of molecules, where in case of liquid and gases, it is due to the collisions and diffusion. In this figure, we have one metallic rod where one of its end is applied with heat, and due to the vibrating particles, heat is transferring from its one end to the another end, where in case of liquid and gases, the molecules are colliding with each others, and due to this collision, the heat is transferring from one molecule to the another molecules. The number of experiments were done in the past to get an expression for the heat transfer. In one of the experiment, they have taken a slab of thickness delta x One end of the slab is maintained at a temperature T2 of area A, and another end of the slab with same area A is maintained at temperature T1, and T2 is greater than T1. Due to this temperature difference, T2 minus T1, heat transfer taking place from one end of the slab to the another end of the slab, which is denoted by Q dot. It was observed that heat transfer was directly proportional to area and temperature difference, where on the other hand it was inversely proportional to the thickness of the slab, which means if the thickness of the slab is higher, Q dot was lower, or if the thickness of the slab is lower, heat transfer was higher. Now from the above observation, we can write our expression as Q dot is directly proportional to area, temperature difference, and inversely proportional to its thickness, as shown here. If we remove the constant of proportionality, we have one constant K, which is known as a thermal conductivity. Which is the ability of the material to conduct heat, and our expression will be Q dot equal to negative K area temperature difference T1 minus T2 divided by delta X, where negative sign is here because T1 minus T2 is negative, and to make the heat transfer as a positive in positive X direction, the negative should be placed. So finally we have an expression of Q dot equal to negative Ka del T by del X, and if delta X tends to 0, Q dot equal to minus Ka del T by del X, which is known as Fourier law of conduction. Let's talk more about thermal conductivity. From the kinetic theory of gases and the experiment, it is confirmed that thermal conductivity of gas is directly proportional to square root of temperature and inversely proportional to the molecular weight. This figure shows the variation of thermal conductivity of various solid, liquid and gases with temperature. Let's first observe the thermal conductivity of the gases such as helium, air and argon with temperature. It is clearly shown in this graph or figure that thermal conductivity of the gases are increasing with the increase of temperature, and this is what is given by theory of kinetic gases also, and it is inversely proportional to the molecular weight. That is, since the helium has a molecular weight of 4, air has a molecular weight of 29 and argon has a molecular weight of 40. So according to the kinetic theory of gases, so the higher the molecular weight, lower the thermal conductivity. So the argon should have a lower thermal conductivity as compared to helium and air, where the helium has the lowest molar mass in this graph. So the helium should have a higher thermal conductivity. So it is clearly seen from this figure. Now let's observe the thermal conductivity of the solid with temperature such as silver, copper, platinum, iron, aluminium, etc. So it is clearly observed from this figure that the thermal conductivity of the solid is decreasing with the increase in temperature, where the liquid show a same behavior as a solid and its thermal conductivity decreases with the increase in temperature, and the water, which is a liquid, is an exception here. The graph here So a range of thermal conductivity for gaseous, insulator, liquid, non-metallic solid, metal alloys, pure metal and non-metal crystals. So from this graph we can see that the pure solid has the high thermal conductivity and the gases has a very low thermal conductivity, where the liquid has a thermal conductivity in between gases and pure metal. Now let us discuss about the second mode of heat transfer, that is convection. So convection is a mode of energy transfer between the solid surface and the adjacent liquid or gases that is in motion. It involves a combined effect of conduction and convection. For example, the flow over a heated flat plate. In this figure, blue line show the flat plate which is at a temperature of Ts and area As. The air which is at a temperature of T infinity is flowing over the flat plate. So there will be the heat that is flowing from the hot plate to the air by the mean of conduction as well as to the convection. The presence of bulk motion and hence the heat transfer between the solid surface and the fluid, where if the fluid motion is absent, the heat transfer between the solid surface and the adjacent fluid is by the pure conduction. When any fluid is flowing over a solid surface, it forms a layer of stagnant fluid which is known as a no-slip boundary layer. So the heat from the hot block first conducted through this no slip boundary layer and then it is convected to the air. We will learn more about this phenomena when we will talk convection in more detail in the upcoming lectures. Convection is divided into two parts. One is forced convection and another is natural convection or free convection. Forced convection, the fluid is forced to flow over the surface by the fan or pump, etc. As shown in figure here, where the air is blown by the fan over the hot egg. Where in case of natural convection, the fluid motion is caused by the buoyancy force induced by the density difference, as shown in figure here. The rate of heat transfer in the case of convection is expressed by Newton's law of cooling as Q dot convection is equal to H A T surface, that is the surface temperature of the hot body or solid body, and T infinity is the temperature of moving media, generally as the air, where H is known as the heat transfer coefficient with the unit of watt per meter square per Kelvin. As is the surface area of the solid surface. Please note that convection heat transfer is not a property of the fluid. It is experimentally determined parameter whose value depend on the surface geometry, the nature of fluid motion, the property of the fluid and the bulk velocity. The typical value of heat transfer coefficients are mentioned in this table. So the free convection of gases has a heat transfer coefficient range from 2 to 25, where the free convection of liquid has a range from 10 to 1000. Similarly, forced convection of gases has a value range from 25 to 250, and the convection coefficient for forced convection of liquid is between 50 to 20,000. And the boiling and condensation has the highest value of heat transfer coefficient, that is in this range. From this table, we can make some of the observation as follows. Boiling and condensation has the highest H value, that is heat transfer coefficient value. Second, heat transfer coefficient for forced convection is higher than natural convection. Now, the third mode of heat transfer, that is radiation. Radiation is the energy emitted by a matter in the form of electromagnetic waves. Unlike conduction and convection, this mode of heat transfer does not require the presence of any medium. All bodies at a temperature above absolute zero, that is 0 Kelvin, emits radiations. The maximum rate of radiation that can be emitted from a surface at a thermodynamic temperature Ts is given by a Stefan-Boltzmann law, and it's expressed as Q emit max equal to sigma, that is Stefan-Boltzmann constant, As, that the area of the surface, and Ts is the absolute thermodynamic temperature of the body raised to the power 4. The idealized surface that emit radiations at this maximum rate is called black body. The radiation emitted by all real surface is less than the radiation emitted by the black body and is expressed as Q dot emit equal to emissivity times the Stefan-Boltzmann constant, area of the surface, absolute temperatures of the body raised to power 4, where emissivity has a value range between 0 and 1. For a black body, emissivity is equal to 1. Now we will discuss the combined heat transfer coefficient expressed as H combined. Suppose we have a surface which is at a temperature of Ts, which is the absolute thermodynamic temperature, and it has a emissivity epsilon, and its surface area is As, and there is a air that is blowing over it at a temperature of T infinity. So in this case, there are two modes of heat transfer that can take place from the surface. One is by convection, that is heat transfer by convection, and second, the heat transfer by radiation. So the total heat can be expressed as Q convection plus Q radiation. From our previous study, Q convection can be expressed as H convection, surface area, T surface minus T infinity, and Q radiation can be written as emissivity of the surface, Stefan-Boltzmann constant, area of the surface, T surface की power 4 and T infinity power 4. On the rearrangement, we can write epsilon sigma A as T surface square minus T infinity square, T surface square plus T infinity square, and more arrangement, T surface plus T infinity, T surface minus T infinity, Ts square plus T infinity square, and this is equal to epsilon sigma As T surface plus T infinity, T surface square plus T infinity square, Ts minus T infinity, and epsilon sigma T surface plus T infinity, T surface square plus T infinity square into A surface area T surface minus T infinity. In this case, this whole expression is denoted as H radiation. So we can write H radiation surface area Ts minus T infinity. So now we can write Q total equal to Q convection plus Q radiation. This is equal to H convection area surface T surface minus T infinity plus H radiation area surface Ts minus T infinity. If we take A surface and T surface minus T infinity as a common, we have a combined heat transfer coefficient, and this is known as H combined. So we can say H combined equal to H convection plus H radiation. So by this, our introduction to the heat transfer has been finished. Thank you.